every day there's another breakthrough, whether it's MDMA, ecstasy, psilocybin, LSD. So many different psychedelics are being studied right now, and they are all moving swiftly through the approval process. You already have psilocybin legalized in Oregon and in Colorado, and a few other states are really around the corner. They say that New Jersey, where I live, will be kind of selling magic mushrooms by the end of the year. And so you have a movement right now that's happening, and I think that in order to fully recognize the power of that, there's going to be a menu of options that are going to become available. Right now, ketamine's the only one. If you want to experience some of these other psychedelics, you have to go overseas, and ayahuasca is something that a lot of people talk about as being life-changing. I don't know enough about this stuff, but what I find is that ketamine was an entry point for me. You know, it opened the door, and now I'm in this space, and now there might be 20 levels deeper, but getting to the first level from my limited perspective might have been the hardest, because it's taking that leap of faith. Once you've done it once, you're no longer afraid. And so ketamine is a phenomenal option for people. And the main reason why is that, I mean, all psychedelics are known to kind of put your brain in a state of neuroplasticity. And what that means is that it's taking all of these neural connections that your brain has established and strengthened over the course of your life, and it's breaking them down. And so let's take a very classic example of a young girl or a young boy who remembers when they were 5 years old, they saw a dog and the dog started barking at them, and boom, they were terrified. They thought they were going to get eaten. They ran to their mommy. They hid. And now for the next 50 years, they're like terrified of dogs. Let's take a step back. And I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. But my understanding is the reason why that plays out that way is because when you're 5 years old, you make this connection in your brain. You make this association with a dog. The dog barks. You get scared. Your brain says, okay, dog barking equals scary. Make a connection. And every time you see a dog again, your brain says, my job is to protect you, Ari. So I'm going to build that connection even stronger. Dog, scary, stay away. Dog, scary, stay away. And over time, that connection gets so strengthened that by the time you're 45, 50 years old, you can't be in an elevator with a dog because you're so terrified and your brain is trying to protect you. It's like the same way when a girl breaks up with you and she says, we need to talk. And you're like, I know what that means, right? Your brain knows. You know what's next. I see a dog. I know what's next. Over time, your brain makes these really strong connections, and that's a good thing. That's good that your brain does that. It protects you. If you know you touch the oven when it's hot, you're going to get burned. You're not going to do it again. Your brain reminds you. It knows. But sometimes the way you experience things is not an accurate portrayal of what happened, so to speak, or there's an alternative way to look at it. And in the case of the dog, it might have been a cute little chihuahua, but you remember it as like a bloodhound because that's how you experienced it. And so what ketamine and psychedelics medicine do is they relax your brain to a state of what's called neuroplasticity, which is like this most relaxed state of mind where all of those neural pathways that have been so tightly connected for 40 years, they start to break down and you're able to build new pathways. And the way I would describe what would happen to a person like this in the psychedelic journey is you'd start with intention setting. You'd say, like, what am I here for, right? And sometimes you don't even know why you're there. But let's say you say, I'm here to figure out why I'm so scared of dogs, right? In this journey that you'd have, you would then go back to that 5-year-old experience that you had, and you would actually see it, how it actually happened, perhaps, if you're lucky, right? If that comes to you, what you'd see is that was a chihuahua. He was actually just licking me. And I got so freaking scared, and there was no reason to get scared. And look how cute it is. And wait a second, why am I so scared? Wait, I don't have to be scared of dogs at all. And you have this whole experience. And then as the medicine wears off, you come back and you're like, what the hell have I been doing for the last 40 years? What's wrong with me? Come here, little pup. And you want to pet them. And you're like, this is not scary.